good to see you today. We're going to talk about, well, the basic terms of general chemistry, including like what are mixtures, what are scientific figures, what is data, different types of data, including quantitative and qualitative data, what is a law, what is matter, mass, substances, if they're the same or not, what is a mixture, what are homogeneous and heterogeneous mixtures, what are physical and chemical properties and examples of them, what are intensive and extensive properties, what are the two basic types of substances. And yeah, in the next video we'll be covering prefixes such as like kilo, mega, and like basically different values, their symbols and mathematic values and so on. Now before we get started, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more videos, and let's get started. So what is data, and like what are different types of like data? So data is basically pieces of information. We have two types of data. They could be either quantitative data or qualitative data. When we say quantitative data, they are mainly expressed as numbers. Okay, for example, when you say the solution has a pH of 4.5, or the mass of the sample is 10.2 grams, okay? So when you can assign a number to something, that will be a quantitative data. The other one is qualitative data. Well, basically when you give something a description, for example, when you say something is warm, or the solution is blue, or the gas smells pungent, something like that. Now, when we're talking about law, basically we mean a concise verbal or mathematical statement of a relationship between phenomena that is always the same under the same condition. For example, law of conservation of mass. We say matter is neither created nor destroyed in a chemical reaction. And that is law. And by the way, these white notes that you see here, it's for you to take your own notes, and you can find the PDF file which you can take your notes on the Telegram channel for free. Moving on to the next subject. What is matter, mass, substance, and all of those stuff? What are they? So, when we say matter, we mean anything that has mass and occupies space. For example, air, water, a rock, your textbook. And when we say mass, we mean that it's a measure of the quantity of matter in an object. So basically the amount of matter, okay? It doesn't change with location, unlike weight. For example, you say a gold bar has a mass of 1 kilogram. Whether on Earth or on Moon or Mars, anywhere it's 1 kilogram. Moving on to substance. Substance means a form of matter that has a definite or constant composition and distinct properties. Okay, they could be either elements or compounds. Examples of substance are pure water, pure gold, And just take a note that substance is not the same as matter. So all substances are matter, but not all matter is a substance. For example, a mixture is matter, but it's not a pure substance. Now, what is a mixture? A mixture is a combination of two or more substances in which the substances retain their identity. Okay? So, in another way, we can say it's a physical combination of two or more substances where each retains its own identity and properties. It's just like saying it in another way. For example, we can say salt water, air, salad, Now we have two different types of mixture, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. Now when we say homogeneous mixture, it means that the composition is the same throughout the solution. For example, salt dissolved in water, or brass, which is basically copper and zinc alloy. And when we say heterogeneous mixture, it means that the individual components remain physically separate and can be seen as separate components. You can see different properties. For example, sand in water, oil and vinegar, granite rock, okay? And well, a way of separating the components of a mixture is evaporation. Can you give me another example? And like how to separate the components of a mixture? You can type it in the comment section. Now let's move on to physical and chemical properties. So what is a physical property? It's a property that can be measured and observed without changing the composition or identity of a substance. Or in another way, you can say characteristics of a substance that can be observed or measured without changing its identity. Just changing the way that we define it, but it's the same. For example, we can say color as an example of physical property. Color, density, melting point, boiling point, mass. Then what is chemical property? It behaves in certain chemical reactions, so it's characteristics that describes a substance's ability to undergo a chemical change and form a new substance. For example, flammability, reactivity with acids, ability to rust. Okay? Now we have two different types of property, including intensive and extensive property. When we say intensive property, it means that it's a property that does not depend on the amount of substance, like density, color, boiling point, hardness. Doesn't matter how much of that substance you have, it's going to be the same. The other one is extensive property. These are properties that do depend on the amount of substance, such as mass, volume, length, and total energy. In the next video, we're going to talk about values and writing scientific figures, how to write their exponents, what are the rules of writing them that way, what is accuracy, precision, heat and specific heat, system and surrounding, and different types, enthalpy, and so on, and phase changes. And guys, thank you so much for watching the video. If it was helpful to you in any way, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more. And if you have any questions, please let me know in the comment section. And best of luck with your studies. See you in the